I gave you the solutions today, but wanted to give you a quick video of them also. So g of -2, you plug in -2 for the x, and then you just simplify. F of -3, you plug in the -3 for the x's, and you simplify. When f of x is equal to 2, then you replace f of x with 2. And then you solve. G of x is equal to -1. Plug it in, and then you solve. Some got stuck on how to solve that one. If you have a fraction, multiply by the common denominator. That's what I did. I multiplied this to each side of the equation. And at the very end, you had x squared equals 4. And don't forget to look at the positive and negative answer there. Looking for where that line and the parabola intersect. So you graph the parabola, you graph the line. You can see they intersect at 6, 0 and 0, -6. Algebraically, you can use substitution, get it equal to 0, factor, and then you can see your two answers, and you get the same answers. Using factoring to solve, plot the common factor first, and that'll give you x equals 0. Factor this part, and that's how you get the -1/5 and the 4. Get it equal to 0. Pull out the common factor. That's just kind of throwaway. It's not an x, so it doesn't give you an answer. Factor it, and you get 5/3 and 1. Almost everybody got the quadratic formula one right. If you missed it, you didn't notice the negative times the negative. Everybody did much better this week on the domain and range. The lowest x value is -6. The highest x value is infinity. The lowest range is -6, and the highest is infinity. And these are the possible x's. Well, you have -2, 0, and 2. Possible y's, -3, 1, and 3. Distribute. Combine like terms. I added 5x to both sides. I added 20 to both sides. I received a 0 here. When I get a 0, anything, if you take 0 and divide it by anything, you're going to get 0. Multiply by the common denominator eliminates all the fractions. 2x times 1 divided by 2x, 1. 2x times 1, 2x. 2x times 5 is 10x, divided by x is just 10. And you just solve. I think everybody got this one right except for the people who had it in radians. If your answer doesn't make any sense, you should be checking to see if you're in degrees. Car started off with this value. It's appreciating, so that's increasing. So I took 100% and added the 7.5%. I got 107.5%. Move the decimal over 2 places. There's your multiplier. 6 years, put a 6 there. 8 years ago, a -8. And then there's my equation. Arithmetic means it's basically a line. You can find the slope and the y-intercept. Subtract the y, subtract the x's, you get your slope of -5. Y equals mx plus b. I just substituted in a y, an x, and an m. Solve for b. This is just t of 10, so you just plug 10 in to your equation, and you get -20. Arithmetic means it's adding or subtracting something. How do I go from 400 to 200? You subtract 200. So you subtract 200 again to get to this spot, and that's 0. So I plug 0 in, equal to that spot, and solve. Geometric means you're multiplying by something. So I multiply by a half, that gets me to 200. Multiply by a half, that gets me to 100. So you plug 100 in, equal to it, and you solve and you get 55. So the equation is you start with 400, you multiply by a half a whole bunch of times. You start with 400 and you're subtracting 200 each time. That is it. Good luck next week.